some buttons. There you go. Yes, this is the first card. So we're on to green. We're actually getting through this a lot faster than I thought we would. It's only been, what, 3 hours, and we've already done white, blue, black, and red. Of those, red and black were probably my favorite. Yeah. I want to try black, blue zombies as well. But, I mean, red has got some very cool, fast, hasty things that I like. And black has the Gisser who does zombie things, and that makes me happy. Let's see what green has to offer for the day, shall we? Green and then multicolored. Multicolored will probably slow down for a lot because there's going to be a lot in multicolored, I imagine, that we're going to have to talk through. But first card is Aloe Alchemist, a 2-mana 3/2 with trample. That's well statted. When it becomes plotted, target creature gains +3+. Target creature gets +3/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. 2 mana to plot. I mean, this is decent on turn 2. Decent if you plot it as a pump spell. If you plot it, you can just play it later. I think this is pretty good. There's a lot of just pretty good cards in this set that I'm a big fan of. Ankle Biter, 1/1 Death Touch. Yeah, there's lots of these cards. They're always fine. They're not, insane, but they're fine. Beast Bond Outcaster. Okay. 3 mana for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. And you can plot this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you had, sorry, I keep hitting the button. If you had a mercenary, the ones that give +1/+0 for tapping, you play this card. It enters the battlefield as a 3/3. This effect goes onto the stack. If you tap the mercenary to buff this to a 4/3, and then let the trigger resolve, you'd get to draw the card, right? I think that's how it would work. Pretty good. I like this card. I mean, I'm going to say that a lot. I love green, so you're going to be hearing a lot of I like this card. But I think this card's pretty good. Depending on how many just base, I mean, because the mercenaries pump power, you can probably just use the mercenaries a lot with green cards and just get them there. There was also the red cards that made dinosaurs for whenever it attacked, it had the power. Yeah. I mean, you could always, if you've already got something that has 3 power, you could use a mercenary to pump that and then play this. So, yeah, this card's good. Betrayal at the Vault. 6 mana, instant speed, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of 2 other target creatures. This is very expensive. Like, it's, remove 2 things if you have something bigger, which you're in green, so hopefully you do. But 6 mana is a lot. I mean, it's removal, you probably take it, but 6 mana is a lot. Bristleback Sentry, a 2 mana 3/3 defender. As long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it can attack as though it didn't have defender. I think we've seen this before in other sets, similar style creatures. And yeah, I like these sort of cards. You can play it on turn 2, it just walls everything on the ground for a while, and then when you start to get big stuff because you're green, it can start hitting your opponent. Like it, big fan. Bristly Bill Spine Sower. Oh god, it has landfall. Okay. 2 mana for a 2/2. Landfall. Whenever land is back under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. For 5, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Oh! Um, this is probably. Is it the strongest card we've seen? Really? I mean, the problem with the other ones is like Gisa, you can react because you need to perform a crime. Terror of the Peaks, you need to play a creature. Like, there's most of the other things need like a trigger that you can interact with. This, you just play him and play a land, and he gets a +1/+1 counter. It becomes a 3/3, even if he's the only thing on the board. Like, landfall is always really good because you can't react to it because playing a land isn't an action. You just play a land, or yeah, I mean it is an action, but it's not something you can react to. As nothing like priority isn't passed. So when this is on the stack, your opponent can counter it, but once it's entered the battlefield, you don't have to pass priority to trigger this thing. With everything else, if you want to commit a crime, blah, 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 do whatever, you have to cast the spell, and your opponent can see it happening and can blow up Gisa, or if they see the creature, blow up the terror, whatever. But this, you just play a land, and they can't interact with this creature. I mean, they could blow it up when it changes phases, but they could have done that with Gisa and the other one as well. This is this is the kind of card I want to play. Is it that good? Yeah, probably. It's really good. It's got landfall. Landfall's just good. Getting anything out of playing lands is always really good. I hate everything about what's on my screen right now. Cactarantula. I want it to die. A 6 mana 6/5 with reach. Here's a reach card like this actually. Costs 1 less to cast if you control a desert, so it is a 5 mana 6/5 with reach. And when it becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Like, I hate it. I hate it because I hate spiders, and this thing looks like a spider made out of pain. I hate it. But it's probably something that I would run at least one of in a deck. After seeing all the flyers white and blue have access to, I think I'm taking at least one of these in my deck. I don't know how many deserts you have access to, but I think even for 6, I'd be happy playing this just because of the reach. Colossal. Oh, I like these big cards. Colossal Rattleworm. 4 mana for a 6/5. Has flash as long as you control a desert. Sorry, a 4 mana 6/5 with trample and flash. I want deserts. I will be taking deserts and praying I can play green. And it's got 2 mana, exile it from your graveyard after they've killed it, which is hopefully after it's smashed them for 6. Search your library for a desert card and put it onto the battlefield. So desert's a greens thing. Okay. So what? White was mounts. Blue was just blue was like the if you don't play anything for your hand. Black was crime. Red was the mercenaries, and green is deserts. Essentially, there's going to be some overlap, but essentially that's what they want to do. Okay. Dance of the Tumbleweeds. Okay. 3 mana, search your library for a basic land or desert, put it on the battlefield. Okay. 5 mana, create an XX green elemental creature token where X is the number of lands you control. I like this card. I'm going to like these dual mode cards that give you a lot of flexibility a lot. This is ramp if you need it, and a big dude if you need it. Because this is a 5 mana 5/5. I like this card. I think this is good as well. Drover Grizzly. A 3 mana 4/2. Whenever it attacks while saddled, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. You saddle for 1. Again, this is really... Give everything you control trample. Your opponent's going to be miserable. Yeah, it's all creatures you control. And it's only saddle 1, so you only have to do like a 1/1 token, and then everything you control has trample. Oof. Green is proving again to be my favourite colour. Me want smash. Green let me smash. Free Strider Commando. A 3-mana 3/3 when it enters the battlefield. It enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it if it wasn't cast or no mana was spent to cast it. Okay. So it's a 3-mana 3/3. Sure, whatever, that's fine. Maybe you need that to block or something, whatever. And then it's a 4-mana plot, and then on turn 5 it's a 5/5. This is probably good if you can reanimate it. Like, reanimate this, because then it wasn't cast. It was just brought from your graveyard back to the battlefield. There was a reanimate... Oh, I can't say now. There was a black reanimate that wanted things that cost 4 or less, right? And this you could do. And then it would come back as a 5/5 for 3 or whatever, or 4. That's not bad. I think this is better reanimating than plotting, but... Sure. I mean, maybe you run... I'm not too big on this, but maybe you run it and just... It's a big dude-ish. Big-ish. Medium-sized dude at some point. Free Strider Lookout. 3-mana 3/3 with reach. We are playing this. Whenever you commit a crime. Okay. Look, I don't know how many crimes you'll be committing in green, but maybe there's a few. Or you'll be multicolored, so it doesn't really matter. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Big fan of this. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. Big fan of this. I like this. Yes. So you play this for 3, and then you do something and you get to ramp. Love it. Yes. This is what I want in my life. I like this card. I would play it. I would be very happy to see it in my limited pool. Yes. This is the card. This is a card I want. Full steam ahead. 5 mana. Each creature you control. It's overrun. Woo! Okay. So we've got overrun. Overrun's +3/+3, I think. But this is 2/2 trample and can't be blocked by more than one creature. This is like, yeah, this is an overrun effect. Having one of these is good because you can just go over the top. But yeah, you don't run more than one of these, I think, ever. Giant Beaver. It's a mount. A 4-mana 4/4 with vigilance. Nice. And whenever it attacks while saddled, you put a +1/+1 counter on the saddled creature. Okay. Sure. I mean, it's saddle 3, so the creature's already decently sized, but I mean, it protects the creature because the creature isn't attacking and it steadily grows it. And it's got vigilance so it can block. Yeah, I think this is good. I like this one. I think this is one of the better mounts. Gold Rush. 2-mana instant speed. Create a treasure until end of turn. Up to 1 target creature gets +2/+2 for each treasure you control. Okay, it's a combat trick that leaves mana behind. I think that's fine. I think this is probably one of the better combat tricks, actually. Because it leaves the treasure behind. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, I think this is a good little combat trick. Gold Vein Hydra. God, I love green sometimes. It's got X its mana cost, which gets me wet in all the right places. Green and X. Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Oh, we're loving this. So it's a 0/0, but it enters with X +1/+1 counters on it, as you'd expect. And when it dies, create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to its power. Oh, I want it. I want this. I want this in my limited pool. I want this in my limited pool. I want to get to 15 mana. I want to dump this thing as a 14/14 Vigilance, Trample, Haste. I want to turn it sideways and watch my opponent cry. I want this card. It's never going to happen, but that's what I want to happen. I love this card. This is probably going in our in our green rampy deck. God, I like this card. Yes. Big fan. Right. Hard Bristle Bandit. 2 mana. Oh my god, my throat. Sorry, my voice is starting to go already. I don't usually talk so much through this. Usually I'm, focusing on what's on the screen and reacting more than just talking constantly. Right, Hard Bristle Bandit. 2 mana for a 1/1 that you can tap to add 1 mana of any color. And whenever you commit a crime, you can untap him and tap him again. I like this card. First of all, it's ramp. Big fan of all the ramp. And secondly, I mean, you just, yeah. No, it's just good ramp. Like, your opponent has to worry about what you're trying to ramp to if you play this, right? So they're probably going to try and get rid of it. Or you can just use this to pay for extra crime. I like this. Yeah, I like this card. Because with this, you play this on turn 2, and on turn 3, you can pay 2 mana for some crime using this. And then you still have 3 mana? Yeah. You still have full mana, right? So you play an extra land, you've got 4. You tap 1 land and him for some crime. He untaps. You've still got... You don't have 5 now, but you've got 4. So you can do like 2 mana crime and still be on, I think this card's good. I think I like this card. Intrepid Stable Master. Wait, is that adding more mana? Oh, we're ramping, boys. That's it. We're going to make some big, stupid green ramp deck. It's happening. 2 mana for a 2/2 with reach. We've already said we like reach creatures. With how much flying there was, we want to run as many of these as we can. That can tap for green or tap for 2 mana only to cast mount or vehicle spells. Which will be mount spells in this thing. But, I mean, tapping, like, he's a mana dork. He's a mana dork that's better for mounts, which is great if you're playing them. But if you're not, he's just a mana dork, and that's fine. That's back-to-back mana dorks, by the way. I am happy. A common one and an uncommon one. I would run both of those. If I had, big green stuff to do, which I pray we do at some point when we're drafting. Map the Frontier. 4 mana, search your library for 2 basic lands and deserts, put them on the battlefield, tap yourself. Sure. I mean, if you're ramping, you could do this on turn 3 and get 2 deserts. And then you're on like 6 or you're like on like 6 mana. And you can start playing really big things. I like this card. Yeah, I think green's gonna, if you can get green going, I think this is I like this set. Big fan. Ornery Tumblewag. It's a 3 mana 2/2. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Right? Whenever Ornery Tumblewag attacks while saddled, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature saddled 2. This is good. Green's doing a lot. Green is ramping, +1/+1 counters, giant dudes. I am loving green at the moment. This is all of the things I want green to do all of the time, forever. I think this might be the best mount we've seen as well. Well, maybe not. I think the black one's probably better, actually, because the black one draws cards. Black one's probably better, but I like this one more. I think that's the problem. This is a very good card. I fucking hope I've got some of these green rares, because these green rares and mythics are great. In Limited, these are going to be the cards you want. I know all of them die to the 2 mana removal, but whatever. Everything dies to the 2 mana removal apart from black and red. Outcaster Greenblade. Okay. It's a 3 mana 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, search over for a basic land or desert, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And it gets +1/+1 for each desert you control. Yep. Another just rampy card we like. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get deserts. Don't care. Love it. Because it's ramp on a dude. Outcast a Trailblazer. Okay, a 3 mana 4/2. When it enters the battlefield, add 1 mana of any color. God, green ramps hard this set. I'm fucking loving it. Whenever another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card, and you can plot this one to do it later. God, I'm a fan of this set. Especially, the last set was so fucking mediocre at best. This set looks so good. Fucking love me some green in this set. Okay. Yes. This card is good. This card is good. Like, you can plot it and bring it in for free, and then you can just bring in a bunch of 4 power dudes and draw some cards. And it even helps because it makes a mana when it comes in after being plotted. Like this card a lot. Patient Naturalist. Okay. 3 mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Put a land from among the milled cards into your hand. If you can't, create a treasure token. Again, more just rampy. Well, not ramp because it only puts it into your hand, but it does make the treasure token. So, yeah, this is mediocre compared to the others, but I mean, it still does what I like. So, I'd probably play it, but I think this is a more mediocre version of the other rampy cards. Railway Brawler. A 5 mana 5/5 with reach and trample. It has reach. I'm already happy with this card. This card is great. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put X... Oh my fucking god. Green is so good. I love this. This is going in my green ramp deck as well. Holy shit. And you can plot it and play it for free on turn 5. God, this card's good. God, this card's good. Jesus. Oh my god. Yes. 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 These are some absolutely fucking stonking good rares and mythics. Green is great. Green is doing everything I want green to do this set, and I fucking love it. Rambling Possum. A 3 mana 3/3. Whenever it attacks while saddled, it gets +1/+2 until end of turn. Then you may return any number of creatures that saddled it to its owner's hand to re-trigger enter the battlefield effects. And it's only got saddle 1. I like this saddle. I like this mount too. Yeah, I like this mount. God, I like these cards. These are some really good cards. I cannot get over how excited I am for green. Man, we're gonna draft this set a lot. I can already feel it. I'm gonna have to do well on my drafts and earn up some more gems so we can draft a lot, because this set looks fucking good. What's this? Rakuous Entertainer? 2 mana for a 2/2, sure. With 1 tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control that entered the battlefield this turn. This is so good as well. Pump everything you played for 1. Oh my god, I like all of the cards in this set. I like all of the green cards in this set. I love every single one. I'm so happy. I love them all. Reach for the sky. Flash enchantment, 4 mana. Enchanted creature gets +3/+2 and has reach. And this is a good... Again, there's so much flying in white. This card is almost mandatory. Like, I feel like you just run it. And then even if they kill the creature, you still get to draw a card out of it. It still replaces itself. I like this card. I would actually... This is one of the few, like, combat tricky things that I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll run that. Rise of the Varmints. 4 mana. Create X 2/1 green varmint creature tokens where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard and you can plot it for later. Yes. This is silly, but this is cool. I like this. Imagine killing someone with just like 10 varmints. That's going to be so annoying. I would probably play this and just keep it in exile until I feel like it later. Smuggler's Surprise. Okay. For 3 mana, mill 4 cards, put 2 creature or land cards from among them into your hand. For 6 mana, put 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay, this card's good. For 2 mana, creatures you control with power 4 or greater gain hexproof and indestructible. This is good. This is an incredible. And the thing is, it's instant. So for 6 mana, this is at the end of your opponent's turn, when they're in their end step and can't do anything apart from instant speed spells, put your 2 biggest boys onto the battlefield. Like, your opponent just gets fucked. This is a good card. I like this card a lot. And if you can full pay, there's a lot of ramps. So if you can, what is it? 3, 8, maybe not 9 because you don't care about this one, but for 8, which you can probably pay if you've got some ramp going, you get mill 4, 2 biggest creatures into your hand, play them both at the end of your opponent's turn. Yes. Yes, we like this card. God, I like green in this set. Snakeskin Veil is a very good card. This is a reprint. But this is a very good reprint. Yeah, this is fantastic. 1 mana, 1/1/1 counter, and a hexproof, so kill spells don't hit it. Green is gonna be good. Green is gonna be good in this set. Mark my words. Spinewood's Armadillo. 6 mana for a 7/7. It's got reach. We're all about it. It's got ward 3. Even better. You can discard it for search for a basic land for a... Oh, this card is so good. This card is so good. If you have it in your opening hand, turn 2, get rid of it. Get a desert, whatever. You put it into your hand. You on curve, you're fine. If you draw it late, sweet. 6 mana, 7/7 with reach, blocking all the flyers and ward 3. This card is so... And you heal as well when you go searching. God, this card's good. Green is... Green is doing it for me. I'm so happy. I can't believe I have to wait a week to play this next week. God, I just... Please give me all... Please, I'm begging you. Please give me all the good green cards in my sealed. Please, when I go to the pre-release. All I want to do is smash people with huge green cards. Spinewood Paladin. A 4 mana, 5 mana, 5/4 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and you can plot it for 4. I love it. It's a big dude. It heals you, which if you've been under aggro threat, it's exactly what you need. You can plot it and cast it for free later. I am loving the green. Stubborn Burrow Fiend. God, that thing looks terrifying. Oh, it's a mount. A 2 mana 2/2, and when it becomes saddled for the first time each turn, mill 2 cards. It gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Not milled, in your graveyard. This can get real big real fast. And it only needs 2 to saddle. This could be scary. I'd play this. Just because the upside is powerful. Thrown from the Saddle. 2 mana. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on it instead if it's a mount. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Okay, it's a fight effect. We take these. We like fight effects. This is screen removal. Trash the Town. Okay. For 3 mana, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Sure. 2 mana, target creature gains trample, and 2 until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature does combat damage to a player, draw 2 cards. At instant speed? So at instant speed, this is 2 mana, the creature you haven't blocked draws me 2 cards. It's a good card. I like this card. What is it? 3, 4... For 5 mana, you get a creature to... It can be the unblocked creature or the blocked creature that will go over the top. So say you attack with a 3/3, your opponent blocks with a 4/4. This makes the 3/3 a 5/5 permanently, tramples over the top to deal 1 damage, and you get to draw 1 card after killing the draw 2 cards after killing the creature. Good card. Like this card. Tumbleweed Rising. 2 mana, create a dude equal to the biggest dude you control. Sure, plain, simple, easy, good. Yeah, I like it. Especially you can plot it. So you can plot it and save it for when you just play a big creature and then just immediately cast it for free later. Yeah, I like it. Voracious Varmint. A 2 mana, 2/2 with Vigilance that you can sacrifice to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, again, you'd probably run like 1 or 2 of these just in case, because there might be enchantments or artifacts you want to get rid of. I don't mind this card at all.